Designers, what if I told you there's a new AI agent that can organize your design files, create polished presentations, and automate your research? And you don't need to write a single line of code to use it. The tool is Claude Cowork. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to use Cowork, even if you're a beginner, step by step. And even though my channel is dedicated for designers, this tool can be used by anybody. Anthropic has specifically created this tool for non-developers so that they can collaborate and use the power of Claude AI from within Claude Desktop. So I'm going to show you how to set it up, how to customize it so that it speaks your language and adjusts to all the things that you need in your role. We're going to talk about skills, connectors, plugins, extensions, all these little details that once you customize right, you will be able to leverage this tool as your daily assistant that allows you to do incredible things faster than ever. It does things in the background for you while you're focusing on the things that are most important and only you can do. So let's get to it. If you're new here, my name is Namat. I've been a design leader and developer for the last 12 years. I'm also a design professor. My goal here is to help us evolve together as our roles change significantly. If you've used Claude before, the chat version, then you know that it's the tool similar to ChatGPT or any other LLM where you actually just talk to it and it gives you answers, useful answers. There's also the code part, and I've showed you how to use the code part to actually integrate with the Figma MCP, which is the biggest recent thing that has happened to us as designers. But Claude Cowork is very different. When you shift to Claude Cowork, now you are using an agent, a smart coworker that's assisting you with everything that you do. You start working in a folder, you can optimize your week, organize your screenshots. Cowork actually gives you concrete items. One of the most exciting things that I have been using it very often for is to generate presentations. As a designer, I very often have to present our work, to present very different things to different stakeholders on a daily basis. And it's been wonderful to work with the Claude connections to be able to put my thoughts and ideas into a visual presentation within minutes while I'm doing something else. So now that you understand the value of having your own AI assistant, let's get to it. First, let's start by customizing Claude so that it speaks to you, to your specific needs. Then we will start exploring what all you can do with it as a designer and leverage AI to be more efficient at the tasks that you do on a daily basis. First, to get you started, if you're a complete beginner, you have not downloaded Claude Desktop before, make sure to download it. You can use the link I provided you or just find it on Google. Search for download the Claude Desktop. If you have a Mac or a Windows, you can download it. Once you click download on a Macintosh, you will have a DMG downloaded for you. A DMG file allows you to move the Claude to your applications folder. Another very important thing to note is you need a pro account with Claude. You need a paid account, which is, I took the $20 one, and it is definitely worth having. You're going to see that for all the different things I'm going to show you in this video. Before I dive into the nitty-gritty, I just want to quickly show you everything that exists in the desktop app and how we can use it differently. So to get started, this is the chat tab. This is very similar to what you would use in ChatGPT, very similar to the web version of Claude, and it's just you asking questions and Claude giving you very extensive and helpful answers. Another thing that is important for you to know when you're working with Claude, whether it's in chat, code, or Cowork, there is always an option for you to customize the model. Now, Opus is your most capable model, and I use this when I'm working on very complex tasks, when I need Cowork or Claude to think of complex things that I want to use. Sonnet should be your default. It's the most effective for everyday tasks. Now, you may ask, why would I use Sonnet if Opus is more capable? Well, Opus actually takes a lot of tokens from you. So whatever you've paid for, you have a certain limit on tokens that you use. Use Opus for the complex tasks only, where you needed to think deeper. However, Sonnet is fantastic for most of your tasks. You may ask, how do I know whether I finished my usage or how much am I spending? And that's the fantastic thing about Claude, it's all visible for you. And this is a good segue for me to show you the settings that we're going to customize. So if you come to settings, under usage, you would be able to see your plan usage, when it resets for you, and how close you are to finish your tokens. Now, since we're talking about customizations, General is a place where you get to customize some of the most important things on a very high level that you want Claude to know about you. For example, in this About section, this is where I told Claude who I am and what I do. Now be aware of this. This should be very high level. This should not be very specific, because I'm going to show you where we will give it specific instructions. It's very possible that you're playing different roles right now. You may be a contractor doing personal projects. You may be a designer working on SaaS applications at your work. So that's where we will add the customization at the level of each folder that you're working with or each workspace. And that's what I'm showing you next. But here, you want to put high-level information about how you want your responses, or who you are, or your general voice and tone, if it applies everywhere. But maybe not. Maybe you want to change that in specific workspaces or roles, and that's what I'm going to show you. Here you can choose the appearance you want, the font. Go through this on your own just to see whatever you want to customize. But one thing that is most important to talk about is connectors. Connectors let Claude talk to other services that are outside Claude. Services that are valuable and available to you that you work with every day. For example, my Google Drive. If you're a developer, maybe GitHub. Figma for us designers. Let me show you how to connect a connector. So when you click on Connect, Claude will launch your authentication, and it will allow you to agree and connect like I showed you in the MCP demo. And then it reopens the desktop for you. Once you've connected a connector, you will see it's available for you here to configure, to go through the details, to customize what you want to allow and what you want to require permission for. If you work with Gmail, with your business on a regular basis, you can always connect that to allow Claude to work on your email, even draft emails for you. I'm not going to cover this in this video. We will look at it at a later time. If you're interested in that, just drop me a comment and I will cover this the next time around. Next are plugins and skills. Claude skills are something that I would like to talk to you about in detail, so I will make a whole other tutorial about that because there's so much possibility there. But basically, a Claude skill is something that you can write to allow Claude to do things for you more efficiently. For example, I wanted a YouTube SEO optimizer, just something that helps me create my YouTube videos faster, allow them to reach more people. And guess what? I asked Claude to help me write that. So skills are something that empowers Claude to do things faster for you. And the best news is you can ask Claude to write those for you, to help you write them. You don't need to know yourself how to write that skill. Now, there are websites also where you can download Claude skills that are ready-made and built, but I personally prefer writing my own because Claude can do that for me. As you can see, you can either create a skill with Claude, write the instructions yourself, or upload a skill that you may have gotten from somewhere else. But there are also inbuilt skills that Anthropic has created for you or other brands have created for you. So when you come to your Customize tab, you have the option to create a new skill, or you can connect your tools with connectors, or you can also browse plugins. Plugins are created capabilities by either Anthropic or other companies that, once again, allow you to empower Claude. So you can see here, for example, a very useful plugin would be marketing. It's basically a skill inbuilt that Anthropic has created within marketing. Human resources, product management, productivity. There is even a design plugin. Let's install that and add it to our workflow. You will see it's right here installed and it's ready for you to use once you come to Cowork. Don't worry if you can't tell the difference between connectors, plugins, and skills. They're all very similar. They're ways to empower you to use Cowork better. Once you've used this enough, you will start understanding the difference on your own. So now let's get started with setting up your workspace. So the next part, we're going to set up a few things on your desktop. I want to show you a setup that's very specific for designers. If we customize this right from the very beginning, you will get the right outputs. You want this assistant to be an extension of you. Instead of giving you generic AI output, we want it to have your voice and your tone and the specific details that are related to your project. So I will show you how to do this once, and you will be able to simulate it and repeat it for different projects and different roles that you do. So bear with this, we will do it only once and it will work for your specific workspace. So Claude Desktop and Cowork specifically works within folder structures. Every time you want to get started, you want to work within a folder for best results. You don't want to start by giving Cowork access to your whole working environment. Start small, test it, and then you can increase. So this is the recommended folder structure. And guess what? Claude told me how to get that structure best optimized for designers. So you want to start with a folder that is your design workspace. You want to give it an inbox, and that's where you would drop all your files for Claude to process. This could be different presentations from work or different things that you're doing. Outputs is where Claude will give you the finished work. Assets are things that are useful, that you use often. Let's say your business has a brand, or your company has a logo, or different design tokens or UI kits that you want to leverage. You put them here. Research is where you would gather the different things you're doing, like articles, screenshots, competitor analysis, interview notes. And context files is where you would add all the context that you want Claude to leverage within the specific workspace. As we mentioned, you may have different roles. For example, I'm a YouTube creator in one of my roles. In a different role, I'm a design professor. I'm creating material for my students. In a different role, I'm a design manager where I'm managing teams, where I need to come up with product strategy or reviews or different things for my reports. Like this, I create different workspaces, and in each workspace, the context is different. Now, I want to overemphasize those context files. This is what tells Claude who you are in this workspace, how is your voice and style, and what are the brand guidelines that it needs to be aware of. Now, don't let this structure intimidate you, because once again, this is not about you doing the work. Claude can do that for you. Let me show you this. That's why I included a document for you that you can download in the description that has all the commands and the resources that I'm going to show you here. It's a PDF you can download. It's safe and secure for you to do that. So I already did this, but I will do it again just for you to see it. The goal is you want to have in your Finder, this is my Mac Finder, whatever project you're working on, you want to have these different contexts set up so that Claude adjusts for the role. For example, if I was working on a project, let's say project travel website, I would want to create the same structure there with different details. This is a design workspace that I'm going to guide you to create. You will see it organized, all these folders inside of it that will help Claude put things in the right place so you don't start losing them, because it has a different default where things are placed. So let me do this again in a new chat for you to see how it's happening. The file that I'm giving you looks like this. So you can come here, copy this, and then go back to your Claude, make sure you're in Cowork, and say, create a folder structure for me following this. And you can paste the design structure in the file and say, let's go, and just watch Claude working. So before it proceeds, it's asking you for more details to make sure it's in the right place. And let me put it on the desktop. But before that, just to avoid that I'm repeating the same thing, I will delete the existing folder, sample folder I had for you. So now I'm picking my desktop. That's where I wanted to put the design workspace. Now it's generating it. If we go back to Finder, you will see it already started creating it. If I double click in here, it's already generating all these things. And it's creating the markdown files that we're going to jump into later to give it context, which is your most important tool. And here you go. It's saying everything is set up on your desktop. Here's what was created. All 3 markdown files have starter content pre-filled for your profiles as UX UI designers. Now, where is it getting this context? From the general information that I showed you in the customized panel where I fed it. But remember, inside the folder, you want to give more details. So that's why you want to customize every workspace with the specific details of that role, of that brand, of that voice and tone that you want to have. Now, as an example, let me show you how I would customize my voice and style. So the voice and style file is generated right here. I can click on it. It's very useful that you can leverage the preview that exists within the Claude desktop. So whether you're coding or you're in Cowork, you always have a preview of what's getting generated, the assets created for you. There's 2 ways to go about this. I can either give it instructions to update it, or I can open this with tools that are available for me. So you can see for me, my default IDE. If you're a designer, you may hear this jargon said by developers, but you may not know what's an IDE. An IDE is a place where you edit the code or you edit text documents. Your developers may use Visual Studio. An example of another IDE is Cursor. For me, Visual Studio happens to be the default setup. This is editing the current file that Claude has created for me. So if I save changes here, it will reflect that in my workspace. Now that we're happy with our setup, I'm going to start a new task. And this is where it's very important. You want to work in the folder that you created. So I'm going to click on choose a different folder, and I'm going to select my Design Workspace, and I will open that. So it's asking you for the permission. In this particular workspace, I always want to allow Claude to be able to manage this workspace and make changes to it. Now that you understand folder structures, I want to show you folder organization, which is a fantastic task that Claude can do on your behalf. Let me give a different example. Let's say you are working on a travel website project. You have a client, you're designing a travel website, and in this folder, if you see it in my Finder, I have gathered so many screenshots. I've done competitive research. I took different screenshots of travel websites that are there as reference for me to get started. And I have them all in this folder, but it's all messy. There is design requirements. There's different types of folders. You can see I even have an index HTML because maybe I leveraged the Claude Figma MCP connection to iterate and ideate on different things. So anything that's related to this project is right here. So let's get Claude working and have it organize this folder for me. Coming to Claude, I selected this project and I can simply ask it to organize it for me, but if I give it a very generic command, it's going to ask me questions in between. Instead, I'm going to show you a sample prompt that you can give, because if you're specific, it will do a better job for you. So here's an example of a command that you can use. Look at all the files in the inbox folder, organize them into logical categories, not just file types. I'm coming to Claude and I'm pasting this command. And I'm telling it, create an organization log when you're done. We can even give it a specific prefix. So let's do this. Watch what happens. That's the power of content-aware organization. Do you see it created subfolders? And it's optimizing where it will place everything for you. Do you see how in my Finder things are appearing and disappearing? It's moving it to different places. You can always keep track here in the progress what it's actually doing. Like right now, it finished moving things where they should be, and it's writing an organization log so that if you misplaced anything or if you're not happy with something, you can always see what is the reasoning behind it moving things where they should be. This is my competitive analysis. It already recognized this, that all these screenshots are part of my competitive analysis. And here, it recognized the index HTML as a dev asset that I might need. This is fantastic. And now I want us to tackle a task that takes hours from designers normally, which is doing competitive or comparative research. So I will show you the command that you can leverage and reutilize. Let's copy this command and take it to Claude. And we're telling it to save to outputs. So even though we don't have an outputs folder, my expectation is Claude will create that on our behalf. Let's go. It's analyzing everything for you. And here you go. Here it is. You can either see it in the preview or you can open it in Pages or Word document, whichever way you have on your Mac. A perfect competitor analysis with everything that you need to know or show to your stakeholders. That is amazing. Now the next demo where designers will see the magic is creating presentations from simple ideas that you have. Imagine you're in a meeting with your stakeholders. They're saying so many things. You took some notes, you just dropped them in the folder. There's your screenshots, there's added research or other things that you have. You add all that in a folder. And now you want to present to your stakeholders, but you don't have time. So this is a perfect place where you can put Claude Cowork to do the assistant work for you in the background. In the last few days since I started using Claude, this has been the most magical task where I found Claude to be amazingly helpful. So you can either start from simple thoughts that you have. So for example, I had a situation where I just wanted to start creating a presentation. I'm just organizing my thoughts. I listed them in Claude and I asked it to get started. Or you can start from a folder where you already have those notes, and you can ask Claude to create a presentation for you. But for the presentation feature to happen, it's more effective that you actually add some connectors to your presentation. So I'm coming to my settings, connectors, and I want to connect Claude with PowerPoint. You can see it's created here, this connection by Anthropic. Now, an ideal situation for me would be to use Figma slides because I'm a designer and this is where I work. But as of the recording of this video, Figma slides is not part of my available connectors yet. I can see PowerPoint, I can see Canva. If there is something else that you use up here, by all means, just use it. But for now, I'm going to install the connection with PowerPoint and authorize and log in. Once I'm done, I can always import my PowerPoint into Figma slides and tweak it for a better design. So again, this is a sample command that I created for you that you can leverage if you were getting started from notes, from ideas that you want to summarize for your stakeholders. Feel free to reutilize that. But for this video, I'll show you something simple, which often happens to me where I'm thinking of a new idea. So here's the prompt that I'm going to use. But before I show you the prompt, remember, I'm still inside the travel website project. This is not what I want. I would need a different project that ideally I would organize, and maybe this is what's going to be my UX design class. I will create this folder. I will let Cowork work here, giving it the permissions, and I'm sure it will generate all the needed structures as we go. But here is my guideline for Cowork. I'm saying research navigation guidelines for UX design and create a presentation for UX design students that explains to them the concepts of navigation, yada, 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 whatever is relevant for you. Create your prompt, take your time, but again, I'm not thinking too much. I'm just telling it what I want and I'm letting it do the thinking and the research on my behalf. Clicking let's go. If it needs permissions or questions in between, it's going to ask me. Otherwise, this is going to be a perfect time for me to go and get a snack because I'm starving. After your snack, you come back and you see how much it researched. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And when it's done, the magic is incredible. You can see it created a PowerPoint presentation after it did elaborate research. And here is the PowerPoint presentation inside my UX design class folder. If I double click on it, I'm prompted to use Keynote in my Mac because I have not downloaded PowerPoint as a local application. Look at this. A research-driven presentation for my class without me moving a finger. What is navigation? Why navigation matters? Types of navigation. The mobile navigation patterns, desktop navigation patterns. This is fantastic result to get me started. Now, is it perfect? No. Once I get into the details of this, I am sure there's so many things I want to enhance and edit. But there is no doubt that Claude Cowork can do extensive research on my behalf in time that I do not have. And let's say I do not like this style, I want to customize it. You may not be aware of this, but your Figma allows you to import. If you come here to this very hidden button right here in your top right, this is the import button inside Figma, and it allows you to import sketch files, PowerPoints, and PDFs. So I'm going to click import from my computer, and I will select this PowerPoint presentation. And now it's bringing it into my Figma slides. You can see that. I will click on it and it opens it. And now I have this whole presentation ready for me to customize, ready for me to edit. And this is where the human factor is so important. It is up to me to use my judgment and refine this. This has already saved me hours of research to prepare for my class, hours of time trying to craft presentations, starting from a blank slate. Now, the last demo I want to show you is how to create scheduled tasks that could save you a lot of time and run in the background while you're doing other things. Let's select a new folder. I'm going to type /, and when I do that, Claude recognizes that I'm going to use something that already exists. It's a command, so I will click schedule. Do you see it already completes it for me, almost like the terminal does? And now it's giving me a hint of what I could write based on this schedule command. So here's what I'm saying. Schedule a daily digest for me of all the design news, trends, or releases by Figma or Claude, OpenAI, or AI tools. Send it to me as a notification in Claude every morning. What I've done on my work environment where I have Slack connected is I've asked it to send it to my Slack every morning, just like I recommended you do in the AI First Designer video. If you have not checked that out, I highly recommend that you do see that message on all the things you can do to empower yourself. So whenever it creates a scheduled tasks, it verifies with you that it's understanding everything correctly. You're all set, Namat. Your daily digest is scheduled to arrive to you every morning at 8:05 a.m. That's fantastic. This is exactly what I wanted. And I know, because I've done this before, that this task is going to be ready and come to my inbox. The only thing you need to keep in mind is for this to actually happen and run, your Claude desktop app should be open and running in the background. If you close it, of course, it cannot run the scheduled task. And when we did run it, it's reading the skill, it's reading the tools, it's searching the web. Look at all the different places that it's looking at to actually generate my news, including NNG, Medium, different websites. Wow, I definitely cannot do it this well myself. I only check one place. It told me the sources that it searched for. It's allowing me to open it in Visual Studio. I might open it right here in the preview if that's how I want to run it. And that is how you schedule tasks that are super helpful for you. Thank you, my AI assistant. Before we wrap up, let me share some honest tips and limitations that you should know about. My first tip for you is always start with a backup. When you give Cowork access to a folder, just have a backup just in case. Claude will ask for your approval before deleting anything important. But approval is very fatiguing. The whole idea is for you to let it run around in the background and just do its work while you're doing something else. So in order to feel confident to give it approval to do whatever it wants without all the constant permissions, just back up your folder and let it work in the existing folder with full permissions. Tip number 2, be very specific about what done looks like for you. The more clearly you describe how your finished Outlook looks like, the better and more exact it will be. So rather than say, spin off a PowerPoint presentation for me, be very specific. Maybe you want an 8 to 10 slide presentation. Maybe you want it to have a brand style. Tip number 3, start simple and then go into more complex tasks. I wanted this demo to be as complete as possible to show you so many things that are possible for you. If you want me to go through some advanced specific tasks, I'm happy to dive in later on and show you more. So start simple, and then as you're doing it, you're going to discover there's so much more that you can do. And I would love to hear what all you're coming up with. So please share it with me in the comment. I look at all your comments and I respond. And it means a lot to me when you share how you're experiencing all this. Tip number 4, use chat when you're just having questions or you're brainstorming with Claude. Use Cowork for your more complex tasks because it will run through your tokens so much faster. And of course, when you're coding or using the Figma MCP, this is when you want to use the Code tab. Now, when it comes to limitations, Cowork's strength is to create functional things for you, not great design quality. It's not intended to create beautiful things. So use it for content and structure, for example, when creating presentations, but you take the time to polish the design and make it aesthetic to your liking. The second limitation is watch out for your usage limit. So I showed you in this video when I got started, I was just at 30% of my session. However, midway of demoing to you how to do competitive research, I ran out of tokens. It has a limit of tokens per session and also per week. Now, last limitation is Cowork works only on your desktop app. It does not work on mobile Claude or the browser version of it. And that's it. I hope you found this helpful. Cowork is one of the most exciting tools that I've explored for designers in 2026. The fact that you can describe an outcome, step away, and come back to a finished file, it's changing my workflow. It's allowing me to do so many things at a time. For me, playing multiple roles in my life, time is the most expensive thing that I do not have. Cowork literally helped me create the script for this tutorial to make sure it's as thorough for designers as possible, so that the possibilities for you to explore are endless. If you found this tutorial helpful, please share it, like it, subscribe. This helps YouTube allow other designers to find this content. So your engagement matters. That's the only reason I ask. Once you've used this, please drop a comment and let me know how you used it. What's the most meaningful thing for you? What type of task would you like me to explore? And I will be happy to do that. Thank you so much for watching and supporting my channel. Let's grow together into AI-first designers. Designers who leverage AI to still focus on human beings, because that's the only thing that matters. Humans are what matters. AI helps us focus on humans.